Aaron. Isha, first characteristic.
So it should be simple and easy to be understood.
Explain it. You just have to remember the main points. You'll explain it also.
So questionnaire should be in a simple and tabulated form which should be understandable by all.
Okay. Anyone who can explain it to me in detail, raise your hand. Be seated. Yes.
That should be short and simple to understand.
Anyone who can explain it to me in detail. Correct. Very good. Sit down. See that you don't only learn the main points, you will explain it. It's a 5 marks question. So you explain all the points in detail. Okay. Then, Karan, second point. Okay, be seated. Anyone who can tell me the examples given in textbook? 2 questions are given which are not in logical order in the textbook. Divyaji? No, Digvijay.
Sir, the question should be in logical order. Means first you have to ask the answer. What do you have a smartphone? Then you have to question in that which apps do you like. It is right or right.
Perfect.
Second.
Perfect. Sit down. Be seated. Then, last second bench, blue t-shirt. What is your name? Varun. Third point. Third, she said. Fourth point. Yes, it should be relevant or consistent with the purpose of inquiry. Okay. Then, fourth point. Fifth point.
The respondent should get idea of the question from the title.
The reader should always get an idea about the objective or purpose of inquiry through the title of the question. You know? Then, Tahir, next point. Yes, you tell me. What is your name? No, last second bench.
Number.
What is your name? Okay, number. Tell me.
If the question is a large number,
Hmm.
to divide it in digits.
And what is the main point? You will just explain the last sentence. Namrata.
So adequate question should be there. Neither more nor less.
Yes. So now, all of you. There should be adequate number of questions. Means as minimum as possible. And if the questions are large, they should be divided in various parts or sections. Then last third bench, green.
It avoid going personally to ask questions.
Going personal should be avoided. Personal questions should not be asked. So now, one more point is remaining. Simran?
Objective questions like yes, no, or MCQ type questions should be asked.
Yes, objective questions should be asked where the answers are in yes or no or multiple choice options should be given. See that all of you prepare the things on daily basis. Those who are not preparing it have to be penalized now. So Karan, Vrund and Tahir, stand up. You'll write the whole answer 3 times by tomorrow and show it to me. Whole answer, characteristics of questionnaire, you 3 will write how many times? 3 times. Okay, see that will be followed by everyone. So whatever questions etc. is given to you to learn by heart should be strictly followed on the next day. Is that clear? So now, take your textbooks. Questionnaire by post method we will take up today and then we'll take up with practical question of second chapter also. Page number 8, questionnaire by post. We have already seen the meaning of questionnaire by post. Questionnaire. Raise your hand what things are to be sent along with the questionnaire when you send it by post? When you send the questionnaire by post, what things have to be sent along with the questionnaire? And you say, raise your hand. You done?
The address, stamp, and the cover.
Covering letter of request. Correct, sit down. You send it along with letter of request. Further, one envelope with the address and stamps already fixed on it, so that they don't have to incur any expense on the same. So look at the things, questionnaire by post. After preparing an ideal questionnaire, it is dispatched by post to respondents from whom the information is to be collected, along with a request to complete and return it in given period of time. Underline this completely. So you send the questionnaire by post and along with the request, means the letter of request is also sent along with the same. Therefore, it is necessary to send a blank envelope along with the questionnaire to all the respondents bearing the address of investigator and proper postal stamps. So, align blank envelope bearing the address and postal stamps. Since the answers to the questions are to be given by the respondents themselves, it is essential that questions in questionnaire are clear, short, simple, relevant, and self-explanatory. Nowadays, questionnaires may also be sent through computer, email, and mobile phones. Is everyone clear with that? Advantages. First, the method of collecting data is quite useful when the field of investigation is very vast, and then field very vast. So if you have to collect information from lakhs of people, then doing direct or indirect inquiry, both are very costly. The best alternative is whatever lakhs of people are there, send them the email or send them the questionnaire by post. They'll fill it up and reply back to you. In email, they can directly reply on your email itself. So vast field of inquiry can be covered. Second, this method is simple and it provides large amount of information with less expense. So align less expense and large information. So more information can be obtained and expense incurred is comparatively less. Postal expense is less than that of an enumerator. Sending a person to collect the information is far more costly. You have to pay him salary, you have to pay him wages for the same. Sending by post requires hardly 4-5 rupees of stamps only per person. So that is less expensive. By this method, investigator can get information from respondents of those areas where it might be difficult to reach personally or by telephone. So if you are having vast areas, village areas, outskirts, where it is very difficult to reach personally or by telephone, postal department is there everywhere. So even such people can be reached through questionnaire by post. So underline areas difficult to reach personally or by telephone. So any confusions in this? And disadvantages. When respondents are illiterate or non-cooperative, this method becomes useless because they have to fill up the questionnaire. If they are illiterate, how will they fill it up? If they cannot read and write, they cannot fill up your questionnaire. So align illiterate and becomes useless. Any confusions? Second, sometimes information provided by the respondent may not be correct, or they may return incomplete or blank questionnaires to the investigator. So align information may not be correct, incomplete, or blank. So maybe out of 15 questions, they answer only 5 questions and send back the questionnaire incomplete. Or blank means they send back the questionnaire as it is to you, writing nothing on the same. So complete blank questionnaire is sent to you. Or maybe they give the information but incorrect. You ask the age and they bluff 105 years. So whatever information is written may not be correct. How to verify whether the information is correct or not? There is no way to verify the same. Third, there may be loss of questionnaire or delay in getting the information because of the laziness of the respondent. So these are maximum chances that you won't get the questionnaire back only. You send the questionnaire to 4 lakh people and you get only 10,000 questionnaires back. 3,90,000 will not care or bother to reply back to you. Okay, they'll use that stamps in other places. So, Indian nature. So, loss or delay. And fourth, there is lack of assistance or a person who clarifies the instructions or make it off. There is lack of assistance of a person who clarifies the instructions or gives explanation of questions that may arise. Hence, there is possibility of misinterpretation of questions and then possibility of misinterpretation. In the next method, questionnaire by enumerator, this problem won't arise because the enumerator goes along with the questionnaire. He can clarify the doubts, so misinterpretation won't arise. But here you're directly sending the post. They have to understand the question on their own and answer it. So maybe they understand it in a different or a wrong manner. So there are chances of misinterpreting the questions in case of by post. Is everyone clear with it? So how do you remember this answer now? We are studying advantages and disadvantages of questionnaire by post. So you can remember the advantages and disadvantages as love is absent there. But spelling is L-A-V, not L-U-V, or not L-O-V-E. Love, me, thee. This is how you remember it, okay? Love, me, thee. Advantages and disadvantages. Disadvantages stand with?
Yeah.
So D, right. Now L stands for less expensive and also L stands for large information. Large information can be collected at less expense. Any confusions? A stands for areas difficult to reach. You can even get the information from those areas which are difficult to reach either personally, physically or even through telephone. Okay? And V stands for vast field of inquiry can be covered. Lakhs of people can be contacted through questionnaire by post. Any confusion in this? So allow. L stands for less expensive. Large information can be collected at less expense. A stands for areas. You can get information even from those areas which are difficult to reach personally or through telephone. And V stands for vast. You can cover vast field of inquiry. Okay, or when the field of inquiry is very vast, you can use this method. And disadvantages you can remember. Misinterpretation. So possibility of misinterpretation is there because there is no assistance, no person is there to clarify the same. So there are chances of misinterpreting the questions in the questionnaire. Then again, I stands for incomplete. There are chances of receiving incomplete information, blank questionnaire or wrong information. How to verify whether the information is right or not. Then D stands for delay in receiving the questionnaire. Okay, and as I said, loss of questionnaire is also possible. Many times you send the questionnaire, they will not send it back. And again, lastly, I stands for illiterate people, it is useless. There is no use of sending the questionnaire by post to illiterate people, it is useless. So, any confusions in that? All are clear with it? Once again, how will you remember the advantages and disadvantages? Love me, D, disadvantages. Love me, disadvantages. Love me, disadvantages. So, love L stands for large amount of information can be collected at less expense. A stands for areas which are difficult to reach or by physically or by telephone can also the information be obtained from those areas also. V, when the field of inquiry is very vast, this method is useful. Disadvantage, misinterpretation. There is possibility of misinterpreting the questions. I, incomplete or blank or incorrect information can be Opening D. Delay or loss of questionnaire is possible, and again, I illiterate people, it is of no use. Anyone having any doubt on that?
No, sir.
So in the first point on the left side, write down V. Advantages, write down LAV, love. First point, write down V and circle the word vast. Second point, left side, write down L, circle the word large, information, less expense, large and less. And third point, A, write down on the left side and circle the word areas. Disadvantages, first point, write down on the left side I, circle illiterate. Second point, also write down I, circle incomplete. Third point, write down D, circle delay. Fourth point, write down M, misinterpretation, circle that. So this you'll learn and come tomorrow. Any confusions in that?
No, sir.
Let us take up with second chapter's practical expression. What is the rule I said yesterday?
C into K.
C into K must be greater than or equal to R. What is C? Class length. What is K? Number of classes. And what is R?
Range.
Range. Okay. So, look at question number 3, page 36. Question number 3. Be attentive. The data regarding the number of mobile phones and the number of mobile phones produced during the last 160 days by a mobile phone manufacturing company is given below. Distributed into 10 classes, only 10 classes, and write it as K. We discussed that C into K greater than or equal to what C stands for? K stands for number of classes. Here we require how many classes? 10 classes. So K is equal to 10. Did you understand? Class length is not given. Previous question, can you see class length was given? Here we have to find the class length. Without the class length, you cannot start the question. Because how will you know which is the first class? So we need to first find the class length. Is everyone clear with that? Further, raise your hand. What is variable and what is frequency? Philip?
Number of mobile phones is variable and the number of days is frequency.
Yes, and the number of mobile phones, write down XI above that, and 60 days mark it as FI. Does the number of mobile phones produced vary from day to day?
Yes.
Or does the number of days vary from mobile to mobile?
No.
Number of mobile phones produced vary from day to day. So what is the variable here? Number of mobile phones. And what is frequency? Number of days. Now, what is the lowest observation? 103. Yes, all of you learn that. Third row, first observation, do you find that? And what is the highest? 1075. Last second row, third observation, underline 1075. Got it, everyone? Now certain calculations are to be done, so put your pens down. Understand that first, then you write it. Because next question, which you will be trying on your own in the class, those calculations first you will do on your own, and then I'll do it on the board and you'll verify you've done it right or not. So understand the things first, okay? Very first of all, lowest observation is 103. I cannot write the class in between, in bracket, because I don't know the class length. Number of classes I know, they are supposed to be 10, but I don't know the class length. Like in previous question it was given 5. If that way it was given 5, then we could have taken 100 to 105 or 100 to 104 if it is inclusive, right? But here class length is not given, so that we cannot take, right? Highest observation is 1075. Here also we don't know which class it will belong to. Now what did I tell you? How do you find the range? Highest minus lowest observation. So 1075 minus 103, 972. 1075 minus, you all have the calculators? Who are able to still purchase a calculator? Okay, others have it? So you can use the calculators now onwards, okay? 1075 minus 103. What is that coming to? Take out the calculators if you have it, okay? Now further, clear enter. I told you K is given as 10. Silence. Number of classes are given as 10. How to find the class length C? R divided by K. Yesterday I gave you two formulas. C into K greater than or equal to R. Then I gave you two formulas. C can be obtained as R upon K and K can be obtained as R divided by C. Raise your hand who's not clear with this. If C is to be found out, R divided by K. If K is to be found out, R divided by C. Okay. Now, what is that coming to? 972 divided by 10. 97.2. Now, what you do is round it off to the higher integer. 98 means you take it as 100 because we are taking class length. So 98 is a very weird class length. Generally, how should you take the class length? 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. Don't take the class length as 3, 7, 11, 13. So 98 is a very weird number. Because it comes to 97.2, we take it as 100. Don't take it as 90. Because C into K should be greater than or equal to R. If you take 90, it will be less than R. Like see, what is C into K? 100 into 10? 1000. Is it greater than R 972 or not? Yes. If you take 90, less than 97, then what is 90 into 10? 900. That will be less than 970. So if it comes to 91, then also you don't take 90. If it comes to 91, then also you take the class length 100. Understood that or not? You always take the class length on the higher side. You always take the class length on the higher side, not on the lower side. Because the rule is C into K must be greater than or equal to R. Okay? So here you mention that. Since C into K must be greater than or equal to R. So 97.2 we have taken as 100. Raise your hand who did not understand why 100 and wants me to explain it again. Okay. Is this formula clear? R divided by K. That comes to 972. Range divided by K, 10 number of classes, so 97.2. Now the rule is C into K must be greater than or equal to R. So 97.2 if you get, then take the class length more than 97.2. Because if you take less than 97.2, then multiplication of C into K will not give you the result greater than R. It will give you less than R. Like I said, if you take 90s, which is less than 97.2, then C into K, 90 into 10 will become 900, which is less than R. And the rule is C into K must be greater than or equal to R. So if it is 97.2, which is the best class length, after 97.2 we can take 100. Take the proper numbers only, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100. Don't take 98. So more than 97.2 means we directly take it as 100. Did you understand this? Anyone else who still wants me to repeat? I don't mind repeating it 10 times also. Everyone must be able to understand. And next question, this workings you must be able to do on your own. So anyone who wants me to explain this again, raise your hand. All are clear? Sure? Next question, you all will be able to try these workings. Okay, now tell me, 103, what will be the class?
100.
Raise your hand, not your voice. What class will you take for 103? Great issue.
100 to 200.
100 to 200. So, 100 to 200. What did you want to say? Last second bench? Yes. 100 to 200. Okay. 100 to 200 is wrong. Raise your hand. What will you take? Sit down. Hit.
100 to 190.
Why?
Inclusive class.
Why?
Discrete.
Yes. What is the variable? Now, what is a variable? Number of mobile phones produced. Very good, Saram. Is it discrete or a continuous variable? It cannot be in decimals. Can you have 1.3 mobiles produced? And when the variable is discrete, but the data is large, range is large, we take the continuous frequency distribution. But we make inclusive or exclusive classes? Inclusive. So, what will you take the class here? 100 to 199. Reason, can you have any mobile phone between 199 to 200? So take till 199. Yesterday the question was age. Age can be in decimals. So we cannot take 0 to 4. We took 0 to 5. Because between 4 to 5 also age is possible. Did you understand this portion? Raise your hand. What will be the class for this 1075? Niyati?
1100 to 1190.
No, 1075 is the observation. 1100 itself is more than that.
1000 to 1090.
1000 to 1099. So 100 to 199, 200 to 299, 300 to 399, up till 1000 to 1099. Before I proceed further, without any hesitation, raise your hand. Anyone who is not clear? Why we have taken 100 to 199 and not 100 to 200? Everyone is clear? Anyone who wants to explain it again? Means the number of mobile phones cannot be in. So no need to take 100 to 200. If the answer is possible in decimals, then take 100 to 200. But in case of number of mobile phones, there will be no value between 199 and 200. So you can take up. And here no mistakes will arise in telemarks also. Because one will end at 199, next will start at. So even in doing the telemarks, mistake will not arise. Is everyone clear with this? Let on up to you. Any confusions with the two rows? 103, 100 to 199, 785, 700 to 799, 286, 200 to 299, 1060, 1000 to 1099, 760, 700 to 799, 355, 300 to 399, 645, 600 to 699, you put cross for the fifth one. 775, 700 to 799, again a cross. 825, 800 to 899. 235, 200 to 299. All of you able to understand this? 390, 300 to 399. 399, 300 to 399, you'll put cross. He has no discussions. Silence. 530, 500 to 599, cross. 540, 500 to 599. 695, 600 to 699. 999, 900 to 999. 849, 800 to 899. 550, 500 to 599, 720, 700 to 799, and 430, 400 to 499. Last second row, 752, 700 to 799, 389, 300 to 399, 1075, 1000 to 1099, 701, 700 to 799, 875, 800 to 899. Who is talking in between? 552, 500 to 599, 351, 300 to 399, 265, 200 to 299, 199, 100 to 199, and 370, 300 to 399. Okay? And the last one. 1025, 1000 to 1099, 825, 800 to 899, 783, 700 to 799, 225, 200 to 299, 603, 600 to 699, 553, 500 to 599, again 503, cross 500 to 599, 663, 600 to 699, 385, 300 to 399, and 465, 400 to 499. All of you are able to complete the telemarking?
Yes.
Do you get 2, 4,
9,
7, 2, 6, 50, 22, 32, 40, 49, 53, 56, 60. Okay, sigma Fi is equal to 60. Are you all clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Clear with this question, how to do it? Yesterday we did exclusive and today we did inclusive. Yesterday age was continuous variable, possible in decimals, so we did exclusive. Number of mobile phones is discrete variable, not possible in decimals, so we have made inclusive. Any confusions? So you all will try one on your own.
So
Yes.
this question is written that total less than and more than type cumulative frequency.
That I'll explain in the further periods. That concept is yet to be done. Okay, so how to make less than and more than we'll see in the further periods. Right? Page number 62. Section E, question number 1. No, but right now you'll be. Number of mangoes received from different trees of mangoes in a farm during season of 30 days is as under. So, last third bench, pink t-shirt. What is your name? Isha. What is variable and what is frequency?
Variable is trees of mangoes.
And frequency? Okay, sit down. Variable is something else. Anyone else? Raise your hand. What is your name? Rushki.
Number of mangoes.
Number of mangoes is variable. Okay. Underline number of mangoes in the beginning, mark it as xi. Underline 30 days. Underline 30 days, mark it as fi. Any confusion so far? Now, raise your hand. Number of mangoes, is it a discrete variable or continuous variable? Raise your hand. Let everyone get the chance to answer. Yes, black t-shirt. Discrete. Okay. What is your name? Ruturaj. Discrete variable. It cannot be in decimals. Will you make inclusive or exclusive classes? Inclusive. Because it is a discrete variable. Okay. Prepare a frequency distribution by taking class length 5. Underline class length 5. So no need of these workings.
Yes.
Class length. We make this working because class length was not given. Here the class length is directly given, so no need of making the workings. What is the lowest observation? 92. Underline 92, last row, fourth observation. Highest? 128. Last row, first observation. Now raise your hand. What will be the first class? Raise your hand. Don't speak directly. What will be the first class? Raise your hand. You tell me. 92? The class length is 5. 90 to 95 is wrong. 94. Inclusive classes. Number of mangoes is a discrete variable. You have to make inclusive classes. So 90 to 94. Then 95 to 99. 100 to 104. 128. So what would be the last class? 125 to 129. Inclusive classes you will make. Once again, first class 90 to 94 inclusive. Then 95 to
99. And last class 125 to 120. Any confusions in this? What all things you write in the notebook? First you write
Lowest observation.
and directly in bracket you can mention the class 90 to 94. Highest observation in class 125 to 129. No need of these three things because class length is directly given as 5. Directly you write continuous frequency distribution is prepared as first column number of,
Mangoes.
then telemarks and number of.
Days.
Start solving it on your own. Anyone having any confusion in the question? So tomorrow we will finish with the telemarking kind of questions. All of you are clear with that? Illustration 2 is your homework and this Saturday we will keep the test of first chapter of statistics. First chapter is as such over, we are just doing the learning part now. Basic concepts are already over. So this Saturday you will have the test of first chapter of statistics. Okay? Who all have completed this? Verify the answers from the back. The frequencies match or not. Yes, answers are given. Textbook exercise 8. Exercise 2, you can see that. Got the answers from the back? Exercise 2, section E, question 1. Complete this in illustration 2 would be your homework. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.